Max! Come on, Max!
You call your dog's name. Nothing. You call again, maybe a little louder this time. He glances at you, you know he heard, and then slowly turns his head away and goes back to sniffing the grass like you don't exist. And in that moment, most people feel the exact same thing, a small, quiet sting of rejection. You start wondering if he's upset with you, if you did something wrong, or honestly, if he just doesn't like you as much as you thought he did. That moment happens in millions of homes every single day. And almost every time, the owner walks away with the wrong conclusion. Because here's what nobody tells you about that behavior: your dog isn't ignoring you because he stopped caring. He's communicating something specific, and you've been reading it backwards this whole time. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what's happening in those moments, and the last piece of this is going to completely change how you see your dog. You have to start with what's really going on inside your dog's brain when he ignores you. The most common explanation people reach for is stubbornness. He knows what I want, he just doesn't want to do it. And on the surface, that feels true, especially if your dog obeys perfectly at home and then acts completely deaf the second you're outside. But behavioral science tells a very different story. Dogs don't operate with the kind of deliberate defiance that word implies. What they do operate with is a hierarchy of relevance. Their brains are constantly ranking stimuli by importance, and that ranking shifts based on context, stress level, and emotional state. When your dog doesn't respond to his name at the park, it's not defiance. It's that his nervous system has classified 17 other inputs as more immediately significant than your voice. That's not stubbornness. That's a brain doing exactly what it evolved to do. And once you understand that, the whole dynamic changes. Now, behind that brain process, there's something even more interesting happening, and it has to do with how dogs actually process sound and attention. Research published in the journal Animal Cognition has shown that dogs can distinguish their own name from other words and respond selectively based on context and emotional salience. In plain terms, your dog knows his name. He's not confused. But knowing a sound and choosing to orient toward it are two completely different neurological events. Dogs use what's called selective attention, the ability to filter information based on what matters most in a given moment. This is actually a survival mechanism. In the wild, an animal that responded to every sound with equal urgency would be dead in a week. What you're seeing when your dog looks away isn't disconnection, it's his brain running an active filter. The question isn't whether he heard you. The question is where you rank in that filter at that particular moment. And here's where it gets really important, because that ranking isn't random. It's shaped by everything that happened before that moment. Think about your daily routine. When you call your dog's name at home, what usually follows? Maybe a walk, a treat, a belly rub. His name predicts good things. But when you call his name at the park and his mid-sniff on something extraordinary, or mid-interaction with another dog, his name has started to compete with things that are, neurologically speaking, a lot more rewarding in that instant. Studies on operant conditioning in dogs consistently show that recall reliability drops significantly when the competing reward, whatever he's focused on, is higher value than what he associates with coming to you. This is why trainers spend so much time building what they call a loaded recall, making your voice and your name so consistently predictive of incredible things that it outcompetes almost anything. The ignoring isn't a relationship problem. It's a conditioning pattern. And that's actually great news, because patterns can be changed. If you're finding this useful, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more dog owners who need to hear this. And if you want to understand your dog better every week, subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a new video. But the conditioning piece only tells part of the story. Because there's a third layer here that almost nobody talks about, and it's the one that hits closest to home. Sometimes when your dog turns away from you, or not in a busy environment, but in a quiet moment at home, it's not about distraction at all. It's a stress signal. In canine body language, looking away, turning the head, or offering a slow side eye followed by disengagement are what ethologists called calming signals. These are behaviors documented extensively by Norwegian dog trainer and behaviorist Turid Rugaas, who spent years cataloging the subtle communication dogs use to de-escalate tension. When a dog turns his head away from you, he may be signaling that he's uncomfortable, that something in the interaction feels like pressure, or that he needs a moment to regulate. The most common human mistake here is escalating, calling louder, moving closer, getting frustrated. Which, from the dog's perspective, confirms that disengaging was the right call and teaches him to do it more. You thought he was ignoring you. He thought he was telling you something. That realization opens up something much deeper about how dogs experience their relationship with us. Dogs are not wired to be unconditionally available in the way we sometimes expect them to be. Research from Eotvos Lorand University in Budapest, the team behind some of the most important dog cognition studies of the last 2 decades, has shown that dogs form genuine attachment bonds with their owners, similar in structure to the bonds between human children and caregivers. And just like a securely attached child can play independently without constant reassurance, a securely attached dog can disengage from you without it meaning anything is wrong. In fact, a dog who feels safe with you is more likely to show autonomous behavior, including looking away, exploring independently, or simply choosing not to respond in a given moment, because he doesn't need to monitor you for safety cues. The dog who is anxiously glued to your every move is not the dog who loves you most. He's the dog who's not sure he can trust the environment without checking you constantly. The dog who occasionally ignores you might actually be showing you something quietly remarkable. So here's what I want you to watch for starting today. Next time your dog doesn't respond to his name, pause before you react. Look at where you are, what's around him, and what his body is doing. Is his posture loose and his nose down, total absorption in the environment? That's selective attention. Is he glancing at you sideways and then looking away slowly, with a slight tension in his body? That might be a calming signal worth taking seriously. Is he in a new or stimulating place where everything is competing for his nervous system? That's not ignoring, that's processing. Each of those is a different message, and now you have the tools to start reading them differently. And here's the thing I've been holding back until now, because I wanted you to sit with everything else first. The most profound version of what's happening when your dog ignores you is this: it means he feels safe enough to. A dog who has learned that the world is unpredictable or that his owner is a source of stress will actually watch you more, not less. He'll track your movements, stay close, orient toward you constantly, not out of love, but out of vigilance. The dog who can look away, explore his own world, and exist in comfortable independence near you, that dog trusts you completely. His apparent indifference is actually the quietest possible expression of security. You thought he was tuning you out. He was showing you he feels at home wherever you are. The next time your dog glances at you and looks away, try smiling instead of feeling stung. He just told you something most dogs never get to say. If this changed how you see your dog, please like this video. It helps more people find it, and honestly, more dogs deserve owners who understand them this deeply. Subscribe to this channel if you want to keep learning how to read the animal who already knows how to read you. And ring the notification bell so you catch every new video the moment it drops. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. Does your dog tend to follow you everywhere, or does he give you space and do his own thing? Tell me below. The answer says more than you might think.